It begins one quiet morning, a moment that shatters the silence as the world seems to hold its breath. In an instant, everything changes. You are born into the world, falling from your mother's womb, your body hitting the cold, hard ground. Covered in fluids, your skin still soft and vulnerable, you lie there motionless, unable to do anything but wait. The world around you seems distant, everything is overwhelming, and you can only sense the unfamiliar weight of your body against the rough surface of the earth. A few moments later, you hear the movement of your mother's massive form approaching. Her figure looms over you as she lowers her horn to gently prod your belly. Her touch is firm, yet caring, guiding you with the precision of her powerful horn, nearly knocking you off balance, but never causing harm. She uses her strength to lift you, helping you get up on your legs. Your body trembles with the effort, still unaccustomed to the weight of standing. But she is there, steady and patient. After several attempts, you finally manage to remain upright. You are heavy, almost 50 kilos, nearly as much as a small human adult. You feel the weight of your body for the first time, and it is both comforting and strange. You try to get your bearings, blinking against the bright light of the world around you. Then, suddenly, a small group of older calves charge at you from the side. They are testing you, testing your strength. You stand there, too small and unsteady to confront them. But before they can get too close, your mother steps in, her massive body cutting through the air, blocking them with her sheer presence. She doesn't make a sound. She doesn't need to. Her size and force alone are enough to stop the older calves in their tracks. They snort, grunting in frustration, and back away, deciding you are not worth their time today. You, on the other hand, are simply relieved. You press yourself closer to your mother, instinctively seeking comfort and safety. She begins to move again, and without thinking, you follow her. You are still uncertain of your surroundings, but something deep inside you tells you to stay close to her. And so you do. Your mother doesn't speak. She doesn't need to. She continues grazing, and you watch her every move. Slowly, you start to mimic her. You see her ripping at the tough grass, tearing it apart with ease. Her teeth are stronger, sharper. You try to copy her, pressing your lips to the stalks, but it's harder than you thought. The fibers of the grass are too tough for you to chew. You tear at it again and again, but the sour taste fills your mouth, and the grass slips from your tongue before you can swallow it. You keep trying, copying your mother's every move. She chews relentlessly, consuming everything in her path. Grass, twigs, even bark. It's all part of her diet. Her stomach is full of bacteria that help break down the tough fibers, but yours is still too young. You haven't developed the strength or capacity to eat like she does, but you persist, learning through trial and error. The process is slow and at times frustrating. Other calves around you are bigger, stronger, more skilled at grazing. They swallow mouthfuls of grass with ease, their stomachs filled, while you struggle to get anything of substance. As the days pass, your mother begins to rely less on offering you milk. She is focused more on feeding herself now. She doesn't stop to check on you as often, but when she does, she gives you a quick glance, perhaps a reminder that you must learn to fend for yourself. You notice this change, but you don't resist. You continue to try eating grass, even when it doesn't seem to fill you. You try to play with the other young rhinos, pushing each other gently with your horns. The play fighting doesn't last long, though. You realize neither of you is truly trying to hurt the other. It's just a game, a way of learning the basics of your future survival. Over time, you come to understand the truth. Nothing comes for free. Every mouthful of food, every step in this world must be earned. The world doesn't wait for you. The grass you eat doesn't fill you, but your body tells you to keep chewing. You begin to learn that survival requires more than just instincts. It requires the ability to adapt and to fight for what you need. And so, you keep moving forward, despite the difficulty of it all. The days blur into months, and you grow. You're becoming stronger. The once unfamiliar world is beginning to feel more like home. You still follow your mother, staying close to her as much as possible. But now you are beginning to step out of the shadows. You're no longer a tiny, helpless calf. Your muscles are developing, your legs are stronger, and your horns are beginning to grow, although they're still small. Despite the growing independence, there's an undeniable change. Your mother has a new calf growing inside her. She seems less concerned with you, less focused on your well-being. One morning, as you walk beside her, she suddenly pushes you with her horn. It's not a violent gesture, but it's clear. She doesn't look at you, doesn't speak a word. She simply moves away from you, heading deeper into the herd. You try to follow, staying just far enough behind that she doesn't notice. But it's no use. She senses your presence, and when you get too close, she turns around and pushes you away again. You persist for days, following her, shadowing her movements. But with each passing moment, it becomes more apparent that she is letting go. She doesn't hate you. She doesn't push you out of anger. She pushes you because this is the way things are. The herd is moving forward, and you are no longer needed by her in the same way. Eventually, you stop trying to follow. You stand still and watch her disappear into the distance. The space between you and her grows, and with it, a quiet sense of finality settles over you. You no longer have her to rely on. No horn to shelter behind. No protective presence to shield you from the dangers of the world. And so, you turn. You walk in a new direction. For the first time, you are truly alone. But this is how life works, and you understand that now. You test every step, making sure the ground beneath you is safe before you move on. You stop at each waterhole, sniffing the air, checking for any signs of danger. This is the beginning of a new chapter, where you must learn to navigate the world on your own terms. It will not be easy, but you will survive. You have to. The days after leaving your mother are filled with silence. Not the kind of silence that comforts, but the kind that lingers in the air like a question never answered. Without the familiar rhythm of her footsteps beside you, the world feels too big, too open. The grasslands stretch endlessly, every shadow a possible threat, every sound a reason to stop and listen. You are still young, just over a year old, but the gentle protection of your mother is already a distant memory. At first, you struggle to find direction. The instinct to follow, to trail someone stronger, wiser, hasn't faded. But there is no one left to follow now. You try approaching other rhinos, older calves, or solitary adults, but they're not interested. They snort, turn away, or even charge if you get too close. This is a lonely time, the space between childhood and independence, where no one offers help and no one wants to be slowed down. You begin to understand that in the wild, companionship is not freely given. It must be earned or simply done without. Water becomes your first lesson. It is not always where you expect it to be. Sometimes you walk for hours under the burning sun, hoping to find a muddy hole or even a small puddle, your tongue dry and your body dragging. And when you do find it, the water is often foul, muddy from other animals who got there first. Still, you drink, you must. A thirsty calf is an easy target and you cannot afford weakness. There is no comfort in sleep. At night, your ears twitch constantly, alert to every sound. The grasses rustle with the movements of predators, hyenas, wild dogs, even lions. You have no herd to surround you, no mother's bulk to hide behind. Every noise is a reason to stay awake. Sleep comes in brief, stolen moments, always with one eye half open. Then comes your first close encounter. It happens at dusk, the sky painted in deep orange and purple, the kind of beauty that hides danger beneath its calm. You are grazing, your head low when the wind shifts, and with it, the scent of something wrong. The air carries it, musk, hunger, blood. You freeze. You do not know exactly what it is, but every part of your body tells you to move. Too late. A figure rushes from the tall grass, lean, fast, with eyes that burn with purpose. A lioness. She is not hunting alone. More shadows move behind her, silent and swift. You bolt. Your hooves dig into the dirt, sending up clouds of dust as you run. Your heart pounds so loud it drowns out everything else. The lioness is close, too close, her claws scraping the air behind your hind legs. You zigzag, your young body agile in a way an adult's might not be, and somehow you break into the clear. A river saves you that night. You plunge into the water, splashing clumsily to the other side. The lioness hesitates, just long enough for you to escape. You collapse on the opposite bank, panting, your legs shaking from adrenaline. You are alive, and you have learned something crucial. You are fast, and you are lucky. But luck runs out. Speed must be paired with vigilance. In the following weeks, you become sharper. Your senses adjust. You start to recognize the signs, the stillness before a chase, the sudden silence of birds, the way zebras freeze when danger is near. You watch them, learn from them. You graze near wildebeests and warthogs, not because you like them, but because they are alert. They are living alarms. Your body changes too. The fat from your mother's milk is gone, replaced with lean muscle. Your horn, once barely visible, is beginning to curve upward, small but noticeable. It is a tool and a weapon, and you practice using it, scraping it against trees, clashing gently with other young males when you cross paths. Sometimes you win, sometimes you don't, but each time you learn. One day, while exploring the edges of a dry riverbed, you come across something strange, a half-buried structure, old and crumbling, human-made. You sniff it cautiously. It smells of rust and old smoke. This is your first real encounter with the presence of people. There is no one around, just the skeleton of some long-forgotten machinery and scraps of metal. You don't know what it is, only that it doesn't belong to the world you were born into. And yet, here it is, half swallowed by the earth, like a memory the land itself is trying to forget. You move on, but you do not forget it. As the months pass, the seasons shift. Rain comes and goes, sometimes with fury, other times in soft, gentle waves. With the rain, the landscape transforms. Grass grows tall and green again. Rivers swell. Food becomes easier to find. For a brief time, the world feels generous. But even in abundance, the wild does not lose its edge. You learn to avoid certain places, especially when the rains come. Thick mud can trap even strong adults. You watch an older rhino struggle to pull herself from a marshy patch. She is too weak, too slow. By the time the predators come, she is still stuck. You hear the cries from a distance, and you do not look back. You cannot afford to. Despite everything, you begin to enjoy some moments. The simple pleasure of cool mud on your skin. The rhythm of walking without fear. For now, the way the wind carries scents you can now understand. You find your own watering holes, mark your own paths. You are not a calf anymore, not quite an adult, but something in between, something stronger. And then, one day, you see another rhino. He's older, larger, with scars along his flanks, and a horn twice the size of yours. He watches you, unmoving, as you approach a shared waterhole. You stop. Wait. He does not charge. Instead, he lowers his head and drinks, slow and unbothered. You take that as a signal. You lower your own head and drink, standing a few paces away. The silence between you is not unfriendly. It's more like acknowledgement. You are no longer just a survivor. You are becoming part of the land. The wild no longer sees you as a child. You belong here now. Shinyo-san, as time passes, your world becomes less about the shadows of danger and more about the rhythm of survival. The constant chase of predators, the search for food, the endless cycles of the seasons, they shape your reality now. There is little room for thought beyond the immediate. The cold weight of your horn against the air, the deep breaths of each stride, the shifting ground beneath your feet. All these things become your language, your truth. You begin to understand the landscape in a new way. The terrain is no longer a challenge to navigate, but a series of familiar markers, each one telling you something about what lies ahead. The grassy plains give way to the dense thickets, where elephants wander in large herds. The rocky outcrops rise, creating shaded spaces that offer protection from the midday heat. Every tree has a scent, every stream its rhythm. You no longer feel out of place. This is home now, but there is a harsh reality beneath the surface. As your body grows stronger, your instincts sharpen, and your independence flourishes, you become more aware of the intricacies of the wild, the delicate balance between life and death, the fragile line that separates predator from prey, the competition for space, for resources, for the right to stand at a watering hole. These truths are never spoken, but you feel them deeply. In the quiet moments, you can almost hear the land itself whispering its age-old secrets. It is during one such moment, as you rest under the shade of a baobab tree, that you feel the presence of another rhino, a young male, just like you. He is nearby, grazing, but his movements are different. There is a wariness in his gaze, an energy of unspoken challenge. You watch him for a long time, your mind working through the possibilities. Is he here to join you, to share this space? Or does he want something more? Something territorial? You don't know yet, but you are no longer a passive observer. The time has come for you to decide what kind of rhino you will be. The young male approaches cautiously, as though testing the waters. He is bigger than you, stronger, more experienced. His horn is slightly longer, curved and sharp. He stands just far enough away that you know he is not a threat. Yet. Still, you can feel the tension in the air between you. You are both vying for the same thing, the same space, the same resources. The silent understanding between you is palpable. You decide to make the first move. Stepping forward, you lower your head and rub your horn against the ground, marking your territory. It is a small gesture, but it is enough to make your presence known. The young male freezes, his eyes narrowing. He doesn't charge, but you can see the thought in his mind. To fight or not to fight? The world holds its breath for a moment. Then, with a slow, deliberate movement, he steps back. He looks at you, his gaze heavy with respect, or perhaps caution, and turns to walk away. For a brief moment, you feel a surge of triumph. You have claimed this space, at least for now. But as you stand there, the weight of the encounter settles on you. You realize that this victory was not just about strength, but about presence, about knowing when to fight and when to let go. The land itself does not reward the most aggressive. It rewards those who understand the balance. It's a delicate dance, one that requires patience, wisdom, and sometimes a bit of luck. The months that follow are marked by a quiet, steady growth. You no longer feel the constant tug of loneliness that once drove you to seek out the company of others. You have found your place. The landscape no longer feels vast and unfamiliar, but intimate and full of subtle signals. You recognize the calls of birds, the rustle of leaves, the sound of hooves in the distance. You know when to move, when to stay, and when to rest. You understand the ebb and flow of the land, how the seasons change, how the winds shift, and how to survive within that rhythm. But there is still much to learn. One afternoon, while grazing near a dry riverbed, you encounter an old bull, a solitary figure who seems to have lived through many seasons. His coat is scarred from countless battles, his horn thick and worn, the mark of age and experience. He doesn't look at you at first, as though you were just another young rhino in the crowd. But then, as if sensing something, he turns his gaze toward you. His eyes are piercing, steady, unblinking. You don't know what he sees in you, but he does not move. He stands watching, and in that silence, you feel something shift. It's the weight of age, the knowledge that time is not an endless river, that there is a point in every life when the land no longer rewards strength alone. The land rewards survival. It rewards those who adapt, who learn to balance power with restraint. The old bull moves on without a word. He is not a threat, nor a companion. He is simply another part of the land, another presence that defines the boundaries of your existence. As you watch him disappear into the distance, something within you changes. You understand now that strength does not lie in the battles you fight, but in the wisdom you gain from the ones you avoid. The land is not kind to those who seek to dominate it. It is kind to those who respect it. And with that realization, you take your first real step into adulthood. The next season arrives with a change in the air. You can feel it before you see it. The pressure, the shift, the hum of anticipation. A female approaches. She is younger than you, but she carries herself with the same quiet strength you have come to recognize. You watch her, curious. You know what this means. This is the next chapter, the beginning of your own legacy. The time has come to take your place, not only in the world of survival, but in the world of life. You step forward, cautious but determined. This time, there is no challenge, no fight, no struggle, only the promise of something more. The air feels different now, heavy with the knowledge of what is to come. The days grow longer, the sun warmer, and the wind shifts direction. It's a subtle change, but one that stirs something deep within you. The young female who entered your territory weeks ago remains a constant presence. She is not far, and you can feel her watching you at times, her curiosity mirroring your own. You no longer feel the pressing need to chase her, to prove yourself through force or dominance. The land has taught you something important, the value of patience. You continue your daily routine, grazing, marking your territory, resting beneath the shade of trees. Life moves in cycles, one season flowing seamlessly into the next. Yet, with each passing day, you feel the anticipation build. This is your moment, the next chapter in your story, one that is written in the quiet movements between you and the female. It is early one morning when the change finally comes. The soft light of dawn breaks through the trees and you see her standing at the edge of the clearing. She is closer now, just within your reach. There is no grand ceremony, no dramatic charge. There is simply the quiet realization that this is it, the moment of connection, of shared space, of unspoken understanding. She steps forward, her movements graceful and deliberate. She is not afraid, and neither are you. There is no need for words or displays of strength. This is the language of the wild, a language that transcends all else. The two of you stand face to face, your horns not threatening, but a gentle acknowledgement of each other's presence. The air is thick with the scent of the earth, the heat rising off the ground. You circle each other slowly, a dance as old as the land itself. This is a ritual, a courtship that speaks of time and survival. There is no rush, no haste. You move in tandem, your bodies communicating through the smallest of gestures, the shift of weight, the tilt of the head, the press of a horn against the earth. Hours pass. The sun climbs higher in the sky, but neither of you moves. The world around you fades away. In that moment, there is only the two of you, and the land beneath your hooves. Finally, she stops. Without warning, she moves to the side, turning her back on you, a quiet invitation. You step forward, your heart pounding in your chest. This is it. This is your moment. You are not a calf anymore. You are not a young rhino learning the ways of the world. You are a force of nature, standing on the edge of a new beginning. The courtship continues, but now it is no longer just a dance. It is a promise that you will carry on the legacy of your kind, that you will create something new, something that will continue the story of the rhinos in this vast, wild land. Months pass, and the rhythms of life continue, as they always have. The young female gives birth to a calf, a small and fragile being just as you were once. You watch from a distance as the mother cares for her young, guiding it through the early days of life. There is no greater lesson in survival than this, the nurturing of the next generation, the passing down of wisdom and strength. You can feel the connection between the calf and its mother, the same connection that once bound you to your own. And yet, the circle of life is not without its challenges. As the calf grows, so too does its need to claim its place in the world. The time will come when it will no longer rely on its mother, when it will need to learn how to survive on its own. The landscape changes, the winds shift, and the animals that once roamed together will begin to separate, each finding their own path. As you watch the young calf grow, you can't help but feel a sense of pride. It is a reminder that life goes on, that the land will continue to turn, no matter what. You are no longer the young rhino struggling to find your place. You are a part of the land now, a part of the natural order that governs all things. Your role is clear, your purpose evident. But there are other dangers in the world, ones that do not respect the natural order. As the calf begins to explore further from its mother, you sense a shift in the air. There are predators nearby, their presence undetected by the young rhino. It is not your responsibility to protect them anymore, but something deep inside you stirs. You can't help but feel the urge to intervene, to ensure the calf's safety. You wait, watching from the shadows as the calf continues to graze, unaware of the danger creeping closer. The lions are moving in, stalking silently through the tall grass. Their eyes are fixed on the calf, their movements calculated, deliberate. You step forward without hesitation. The earth beneath your hooves feels steady, solid. The lions see you too late. You charge, a burst of raw power that sends the predators scattering. One lion lunges, but you are ready. Your horn meets its side, lifting it off the ground before tossing it aside like a rag doll. The others hesitate, realizing that you are not the prey they thought you were. The calf, startled but unharmed, runs back to its mother, who stands watchful, ready to protect her own. You return to your place on the outskirts, watching as the lions retreat into the bush. You have fulfilled your purpose for now. The cycle continues, and the land remains. In the years that follow, you continue to patrol your territory, marking your space, keeping watch over those who wander too close. Your presence is a constant reminder of the wild's unspoken rules, the balance between life and death, predator and prey, the old and the young. Your days are filled with the rhythms of the land, feeding, resting, guarding. But as the seasons pass, the land begins to change once again. The heat of the sun grows more intense, the rivers shrink, and the grass grows dry. The world around you shifts. Your once thriving territory begins to feel smaller, more vulnerable. And then, one day, as you stand by the river's edge, you feel it, the distant crack of a gunshot. It is a sound you have grown to recognize, though you wish you hadn't. The men are coming. They are always coming, hidden in the shadows, watching from afar, waiting for the moment to strike. You are no longer the young rhino, the one who once ran with the herd, unaware of the dangers that lay in wait. You have become something different, something more. You are the protector, the survivor, the one who has seen the cycle of life and death, the one who understands the weight of your existence. But even that knowledge cannot save you from what is to come. The men approach, and as the first bullet finds its mark, you realize that this is the end of your story. The land you fought for, the life you lived, it all ends here. But even in death, you are not alone. You are part of the circle, part of the wild, part of the land. Your legacy will live on, in the bones of the earth, in the stories told by those who remain. The circle of life continues, even when the last breath has been taken.